All right. So good to see you all. This week we are gently looking at the back. So it's not a huge look. It's more sort of tying in the things that we've been doing and how everything goes together. When we look at these parts of the body, it's good to have our awareness as we practice on that part of the body. So, for example, with the back, quite often we'll injure our backs because we'll have gone to pick something up or move a chair without even thinking about it. We're cold, we haven't been warmed up and everything. We're just doing that in daily life, and we can just do something, can't we? And that happens with everything. So, mine is my shoulders. That's what I tend to do, and my neck. But we've all got our bits and bobs. Things with backs, you could go on forever about things that go wrong with backs, couldn't we? Weak lumbar, sciatica, childbirth problems, core strength. You could just go on and on and on. So really, it's just going to be a general yoga session with our awareness on our backs, and a few little things in there that are lower back strengthening. So I think it really helps with the hand reflexology to bring our awareness into that part of the body. So if we go to the spine then on the hand, it's the thumb. So if you think the hip was there, wasn't, if you remember, you might not remember. Hips was there, and then this was the neck back in the first one. So we go up the thumb there at the side of the thumb. And we could go all the way to the knuckle so the neck gets a little bit of a massage as well. And so you can do this walking movement, which is my favourite. You can do a dragging movement. You can do a circling movement. But just make sure you're supporting your hand and the thumb with the working hand. And so as we just do this over the next minute or so, might have forgotten how to breathe. So if we think about our breath and we take our awareness to the back as we work on this reflex. And then we'll switch over to the other hand. So just the same. You might need a different technique, different digits have different things going on. And again, just using your breath, go to your back. And then we'll give the hands a good rub. So you probably will have felt into the bone there and then the flesh, and that's all to be worked when you do that. So hopefully you'll have taken something away from these little points that we've had. Let's now come to lying down. So as you come to lying down, your backs, have your knees bent and your knees coming towards each other, feet towards the edges of the mat. So that's what we did the first week. And I'll just pop my camera over as you do that. So feet towards the edges of the mat and knees coming towards each other, supporting each other in that tenting position. And as you come down, then settling specs on or off, eyes softly closed, space between the back teeth, lips softly closed. And then just lifting the head slightly to bring it back to the floor. Have a lovely long neck, but keeping the throat spacious and open. Settling those shoulders into the ground, making space between the shoulder blades. Having the arms resting on the ground, either out to the sides, down by the sides, or onto the body. in a comfortable place, supported for your arms. Belly soft, soft into the back of the waist, releasing the back of the waist into the ground. And then as our knees are touching with those legs bent, we can let they're supporting each other, so therefore you can let the thighs relax. And we can release the lower legs, and the feet are supported by the ground. Those knees touching each other in this semi-supine position, with the feet towards the edges of the mat. And just letting the ground hold your back. Feel what that's like, having your back fully supported by the ground. Softening the back of the waist down. So if you find that there's a little coming away with the back of the waist, let's just encourage it down a little. You may need to tilt your pelvis. And then come to the breath, that natural inhalation, exhalation, the natural coming and going. The breath rolling in and out of the body. Focusing on the exhale to the Apana breath, and we'll be revisiting Apana breath next block. And letting the Apana breath just releasing the back down to the ground. Every exhalation an opportunity for the back, with that contact with the ground with the back, to just release a little more. So if you're just coming in, we're lying down, knees together, feet towards the edges of the mat. And then we can use the breath to help as well with the cyclical breath. Just imagine the breath making its way from the top of the head down the back with the inhalation, down to the base of the spine, coming around the thighs, and then with the inhalation washing up the front of the body. So find the rhythm. The out-breath now surrounding the whole body, releasing the whole body to the ground. Now we're going to take a deeper breath in and sigh the breath away. And a deeper breath in and sighing the breath away. And just one more of those. If your arms are underneath the blanket, just place them on top of the blanket. And we're going to breathe in and take the fingertips with straight arms up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, and with the breath out, bring the arms down by the side. Float them down by the side. We'll do 3 more of those. If you like, you can add in the mantra Om on the exhalation, either silently or out loud. And then popping blankets to one side. Draw those knees in towards the chest one at a time. And place a hand onto each kneecap. As you breathe in, you're going to take the knees away from you. So away from you. And as you breathe out, let them come towards you. So you're not gathering them in. It's just a little movement, almost a tilting of the pelvis. Away from you with the inhale, back towards you with the exhale. Let's establish that rhythm. At the end of your next exhale, we'll come to stillness. And then we're going to jiggle them back and forth. So the same movement, but we're doing that rapidly, not particularly with the breath. So you're going jiggle, 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 back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then let's bring the knees to stillness. Have a different movement, taking them side to side as you rock across the sacrum. And then bring the feet to the ground, hip width apart. We're going to do that somatic movement where we take a knee out to the side, the other knee is up towards the ceiling. So we'll add in the arms eventually, but we'll just get cracking with the legs. So we breathe in here, we breathe out, just let the left knee drift to the side, keep the right knee pointing up towards the ceiling, but the right hip can come off the ground. And then with the inhale, we come back to the centre. With the exhale, the right knee drops over to the right, left knee continues to be upright, left hip leaves the floor. And then back to centre. So let's continue as we just bring a little movement into that lower back. You're pressing into the foot with the knee that's remaining upright. And then we can add in an arm. So for instance, when the right knee goes over to the side, we lift the left hip, we stretch up towards the ceiling, lifting the left shoulder off the ground. And then we bring everything back to the centre when we rock back to the centre. As the left knee drops out, the right hip raises, we stretch that right arm up towards the sky, bringing the shoulder off the ground. And then we rock back to centre, bring the arm down. So continue in that way. I'll do a couple of rounds with you, so if you're confused, you can have a quick glance. And next time that your right knee comes back to the centre, your left arm comes down, then come to a still place. Release the practice. And then we're going to stretch the legs out along the mat. And then as we breathe in, we're stretching the arms overhead and pointing the toes away as we make ourselves really long. And then with the exhale, just soften the arms, don't bring them down, just soften them, but push the heels away. So with the inhale, we're making ourselves really long and pointing the toes away. And with the exhale, just soften the arms, push the heels away. So do that another 3 times. Whenever it is you complete your rounds, there's absolutely no hurry, then the arms will find their way down by the sides and you'll either be stretching or resting or drawing the knees in. Okay, so now that the back started to warm up a little, let's introduce a twist. Bring the feet to the ground, hip width apart, arms out to the sides a little way. Taking a breath in, and with the breath out, take the knees over to a side. Doesn't matter which one, just take them over to a side. You can take the gaze down the opposite arm if you like. Hold the twist for a breath or two. When you're ready, lift the nose to centre, tummy in, inhale, knees to centre. Then going to the other side, take your time. Just continue with the practice in your own time. You're a real mixture of speeds this evening, so just go with your breath. Your rhythm. And when you've done an even number to each side, then come to the centre again, draw the knees in towards the chest. Take your time to get there, there's absolutely no hurry at all. Okay, now from here, we are going to stretch the legs up towards the ceiling. So stretch them up. And we're going to tuck in the navel and the pelvic floor and lengthen the neck, settle those shoulders down. We're taking an inhale. With the exhale, draw the toes towards the head. And then with the inhale, soften back to that 90-degree angle. So again, if you're at all unsure, just have a glance at me. I'm perhaps doing a few rounds with you. So we engaging tummy, pelvic floor, draw the toes towards you. You need to keep that engagement as you come back to 90 degrees. And we'll continue for a few rounds. Try, if you can, to keep the neck and the shoulders out of the equation. They will want to get involved. Let it be about the core strength. Strong core to support the lumbar. So we'll do one more of those. And then we'll bend the knees, have a little rock out. If you've got socks on, you could just slip your socks off, please, now. And then as you're ready, bring the feet down to the mat. And the feet are on the mat rather than on a blanket. The hip width apart. Feet are underneath the knees or slightly away from you. And if you've got anything underneath the head, just pop that to one side now. Have the arms down by the sides or a little way out to the sides. They can be palm up or palm down. If you know that as you lift, your knees are inclined to come towards each other as you lift into a bridge, then pop a block or a cushion in between the knees. Let's engage our tummies, our pelvic floor, our legs, the soles of the feet. Taking a breath in and then gently peeling the hips, taking the back up, keeping that awareness of the breath in the back. As we just come up to that line between the knees and the shoulders. And then as we come up to that line, let's hold then for a breath or two. Some of you might want to hold, some of you might need to come down quicker. See how you feel. When you are ready to come down, use your exhalation, a long exhalation as you softly, gently make your way down. And then continue. So each time you come up, just holding for 1 or 2 breaths. And then softly coming down, keeping your awareness into your back, letting the breath take you. When you come to the end of your next round, then make that your last one. And then you draw the knees in towards the chest as a counter pose. Maybe curling up like a hedgehog if you like. Okay, good. So let's bring the feet to the ground again. Now the feet and the knees are going to be together, so you just bring those legs together. And if you can, take the arms out to the sides, elbows bent, and the backs of the hands on the ground next to the head. Now if that's not comfortable for your shoulders or your arms are not supported, if you can't bring your hands to the ground, take them out to the sides instead. So find a comfortable supported place for your arms. And then we'll just let those knees, so first of all actually making sure the lower back is in contact with the ground. So think about that lower back being in contact with the ground. Take the knees away from each other. Don't go too far. Keep control over the knees. Maybe roll the feet so the soles of the feet are coming towards each other. Inhale here. As we exhale, bring the knees together. Use your tummy, pelvic floor. Bring the hands together so that over the head, a few inches away from the face, palm to palm. Maybe elbow to elbow if that's comfortable. So you're not touching the face, it's just the prayer position over the face. Inhaling, and we're taking the arms out to the sides away from each other and the knees away from each other. So let's continue with that movement with the breath, with the awareness into the back. So the week before last we did about the psoas, these four muscles in the centre of the pelvis, 2 on either side. Connecting the legs to the main body. And a weak or tight psoas affects the lumbar, so we're just bringing in all those psoas movements once again. Next time you open up, let's hold that then for a few breaths. If that's comfortable to do that, if not, you may want to keep moving for another couple of rounds. And then let's close everything up. Have a final stretch there or draw the knees in, whatever you need to do. And we're going to roll over onto our tummies. So as we roll over, some of you might like to have some padding underneath the hips if having the pelvis on the ground is uncomfortable. As we come down to the ground, we're going to have one hand on top of the other and the forehead on the hands and the neck lovely and long. And just release those hips, maybe waggle them from side to side a few times. Release the legs, just give everyone a chance to get there. Okay, so we're going to come up into Sphinx. That's going to be our main back bend from here. So we're coming up onto the forearms, and we remember that the elbows don't splay out to the side. We have them in, so the forearms are parallel to each other, and the elbows are in line with the shoulders. Hands are in really good contact with the ground. Relax the glutes and the legs, let the heels drop out to the sides, take the shoulders down, have a neutral neck and open the heart centre forward. And then a steady breath, breathing into the back. Especially if you have niggles, if you have issues with your back, let's send the breath there, soothing breath. Now we're going to use our next exhalation to come back to that starting place with our forehead onto the stacked hands. And then we're bringing the legs together, so sandwiching the legs together, taking the toes onto the ground. So legs and feet sandwiched together, toes are flexed onto the ground. With an inhale, push your heels away, lift the knees off the ground, clenching your buttocks, and then we're going to let go, let the legs go, let the feet go, let the heels relax out to the sides. We'll do this 2 more times. This is really good for sciatica. So let's bring the legs together, sandwich them together, toes flexed against the ground. Use an inhale, push the heels away, lift the knees off the ground, clench the buttocks, and then we let go. Soften everything down, soften those heels, soften the feet. Let's do 1 more round. So toes to the ground, sandwich legs together, push to the heels, raise the knees, buttocks, and then soften and release. Now bring the hands underneath the shoulders, take a nice deep breath in, raising up, raise the hips. Coming up, we're going to come to child's pose, but if we can we explore doing that with the knees apart? And then come on to, so you're sitting onto your heels, stretch the arms up. Stretch the arms up. And then as we come down, a long back, placing the hands on the ground. This won't be for everybody, so if it isn't for you, find a comfortable child's pose for you. But we can experiment, see if it works. And as we come down, we can just stretch those arms, maybe a little further away if that's okay for your shoulders, and they might enjoy the stretch. And maybe take the hips further away so we get a really good stretch into the bottom half of the back. But as I say, if that's not comfortable for you, find a place that is. Steady breath. Lovely. Now let's make our way up. We're going to come up onto all fours. So let's straighten those legs out so the knees are underneath the hips. Just send those shoulders back and down, tummy in, neck lovely and long. Take an inhalation. Exhale, we're going to thread the needle. So take the right hand underneath the left arm, maybe bringing the shoulder down to the ground. Perhaps leaving the left hand on the ground, perhaps taking it to the waist or extending the arm up. 3 choices. Just steady there. Now next exhale, let's bring that left hand down if it was raised. Use an inhale to bring yourselves back to centre. Then an exhale as you go to the other side. Might be a different experience. Either the hand remain on the ground or go to waist or extend up. Steady breath. Wonderful. Bring the hand down if it's raised. Lift up onto all fours. Let's just do a round of cat. We're going to realign everything. So with an inhale, tummy down. Gently looking forward. Get those shoulders back. Breathing out, drawing in through the navel, through the pelvic floor to arch the spine. And then come back to a flat back. We're making our way now into a down dog. If down dog isn't right for you this evening, maybe just do another couple of rounds of cat. Otherwise, we'll tuck the toes and take a nice deep breath in and raise those hips up. So whether you decided to go into down dog or remain in cat, we're then going to just swish those hips side to side as we walk on the spot. So we get a side bend going in the spine. As well as a little warming up for the hamstrings. And then we'll bring the hips to the centre. We'll raise up onto those tiptoes. Take the heels down towards the ground. Keep the knees soft. Stretch away through the back. Send the hips to the back of the mat. Ears in line with the arms if you can. Tummy tucked in. Steady breath. Good. And then we'll make our way to a forward fold. So let's just mooch up. Have the feet, so they're about 2 or 3 inches apart and they're parallel to each other. Just settle into your forward fold with soft knees. Then bend them a little bit more. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. And we're raising the top half of the body, so we're going into chair pose. Hands can be at the heart centre or up by the ears. And just raise that top half of the body, bottom out, so your weight's into your hips. Lovely. Let's take a breath in and lift up, stretch up. Breath out as we fold forward. Breath in as we bend those knees and lift up into chair pose. Holding the pose, but we're not holding our breath. We'll do all of that one more time. So we're going to breathe in, raise up, breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, up into chair pose. Lovely. Breath in, lift up, stretch up, bring the arms down. Lovely. Yes, we can all rearrange our clothing, have a drink. Oh, and a bit up. Okay. All right, are we all there? Sorry, Anna, I'm finding it very distracting having one of you on the side. We're going to take the feet a little wider than hip width and have the feet parallel to each other. And then bring the hands to the heart centre. Let's just settle there then. Lifting those toes, then let them float down. Strong legs, tailbone tucked under, little tuck into the pelvic floor, tummy in. Long in the back and into the neck, reaching up to the sky, soften the face. Let's just come to the breath for a moment. Feeling into that back. How's it doing? Okay, so next inhale, we're going to raise the arms up. So let's do that. Bit of roller coaster. Exhale, going over to the right. Inhale, use your tummy and your pelvic floor to lift to centre. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, up to centre. Exhale, we're going to fold forward. So you can come to hands onto thighs or bring the hands to the ground. As we breathe in, we're going to twist to the right. So you're going to bring that right hand to the waist or extend it up. You look around to the right. As you exhale, bring the hand down. As you inhale, go to the other side. Hand to waist or extending up. Exhale as you bring that hand down. Bend the knees. Use your inhale to slowly make your way all the way up. And we're going to open up that heart centre. A little back bend if we can. And then hands back to the heart. Let's do that again then. So breathing in, we're going to raise the arms up. So straight up, not back bend. Exhale over. Inhale to centre. Exhale to the other side. Inhale to centre. Exhale, folding down, hands to the thighs if that's preferable for you. Twisting to the right with your inhale. Exhale, coming back to the centre. Breathing in to the left as we twist round to the left. Exhale, let's come back to the centre. Bend the knees, breathe in, lift up, slowly, 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 back bend. Back to the heart centre. I'm going to do that one more time, but we're going to finish a little differently. So we'll breathe in and raise up. Side bends with use your breath, remember. Breath helps us to keep the mind and the body. It helps us to be safe. Exhaling, coming down. Twisting, just as we did before. Then when you come down from your twist to the left, just hold that forward fold. Take the feet a little wider apart and the toes go out to the sides. Bend the knees, bottoms out, raising the top half of the body with an inhale into goddess pose. Lovely. Now inhale, just stretching up, straighten the legs a little. Exhale, sinking down into that goddess pose. Take your weight into your hips. Let's do that another couple of times. Strong legs, strong hips, strong psoas, helping the back. Lovely. Now let's raise up. we're going to switch around so that the right foot is leading and the other foot comes behind, and we're facing the right foot, facing the short edge of the mat, right foot leading. Okay, we're going to breathe in and raise the arms up. All the time your awareness on your shoulders and your back, shoulders down. Exhale, we're going to push away. Keep the legs reasonably straight, but a little softness in that front knee. Breath in and lift up. Now keep the back straight as we do 3 of these all together. Tummy in. So this next time we're going to lift up and we're going to bend the front knee. With the exhale, we're going to make a whooshing sound. Just send all our negativity out, all that stuff that we store in the back. So breath in here, breath out and whoosh. Keep the knee above the ankle. Breath in, lift up. Breath out and whoosh. And then we're lifting. The third one. Whoosh. And then lifting. I nearly went with my arms then. I was like so determined to whoosh it away. I'm going to bring the left hand down to the right thigh, or the left forearm to the right thigh, or that hand can come down to the ground. So you've got 3 choices. The other hand comes to the waist, or it can extend up to the sky. Okay, so I'll just do that with you for a second. You hold that. Breathing, taking the right choice for you. Because your body might not want to go for a deep twist. It might want to go for just a little twist. Now use an inhale to come back to the centre. So if you've got your hand down, you'll have to just use that inhale to lift up. Bring the shoulders back and then come back up. Okay, we're going to come down to a down dog. So bringing the hands down. Slide the foot back, come to cat if you prefer. Just hold that down dog for a moment. Lovely, and breathing strongly. We're going to bring the left foot through this time. Place that right foot down, take a breath in and lift up strongly. So that front leg is straight to begin with, but don't lock it out. So it's not rigid, it's got a little softness in it. Breath in, breath out, we're just pushing away. So we're feeling our way into that spine, into the back, keeping everything straight. 3 of those. Tummy's engaged, little tuck into your pelvic floor. The psoas is happy, we're doing different things on each side. And then we're bending that knee. Bend your left knee, it's over the ankle, it's not going to go beyond the ankle at any time. Whooshing away, so breath in. Whoosh. 3 of those. Whoosh. Whoosh. And then lift up. Your right hand's coming to the left thigh, or the forearm is coming there, or the hand's coming to the ground. The other hand is on the waist, or extending up. Find the right level for your back on this side. Steady breath. Now take it with an inhale, bring your shoulders around. Lift up and then come to standing. Step forward. Standing tall. Let's find Tadasana. Now we're going to bring the feet and the legs together, so sandwich them together. Take your weight into those feet, into the heels, into the balls of the feet, the outside of the feet, the inside of the feet. Tuck your tailbone under, tuck into the pelvic floor, then just clench your buttocks. Clench the buttocks, bring them in. We do a lot of this in chair yoga, clenching buttocks. and then relax and just step the feet out to the sides and have a little waggle. We're going to do that 2 more times, so it's a version of the one that we did on the ground. So we bring the feet together, sandwich the legs together, tuck the tailbone under, a little lift into the pelvic floor, tummy in, and then clench. Brilliant, brilliant. Sacroiliac stuff. And then soften, take the legs apart, soften the knees, have a little waggle. I'll do that 1 more time then. So clench, bring it all in. You're breathing though and your face is soft. Lovely, and then soften. Take the feet apart, release anything there, soften it all out. Okay. Alright, so standing tall, breathe in, raise, take the arms out to the sides, and then we're going to bring them over. So you might want to bring the, there's going to be your left over your right, bring the what should we call it, the wrists over each other and have the elbows out, or you might be able to cross your arms over, eagle arms, and take them back to back or palm to palm. Standing tall, firm into the ground and tall into your back. So have you forgotten about your tummy and your pelvic floor and your tailbone being tucked under, and you're long into your neck. Whichever one of these you decided to adopt. Steady breath. Now let's breathe in and open up and do that the other way. So you can either cross your wrists or take your arms. Don't forget to support your back as we just ease out those shoulders nicely. And then we'll stretch the arms out, float them down. Bring this right arm up, bend the elbow, place a hand onto the upper arm there, or if you know that you can easily catch hold of hands, you can take that left hand out and then catch hold hands behind. Either way, your tailbone's tucked under, your tummy's in, and your back's long and your neck's lovely and long. And a steady breath. Good. If you're catching hold, release the hand down, and we'll all stretch that arm up and bring it down. Stretch the other arm up, drop the hand behind, hand onto the upper arm, or if you know that you can catch hold easily without any strain, we're doing that. You're tall, you're engaged, your face is soft. Good. And then if we're catching hold, release the bottom arm, stretch that up, bring it down, roll those shoulders a few times. Lovely. Okay. And then bring the feet so they're hip width apart, they're 3 or 4 inches apart. So last week we had a heavy leg, heavy foot, so that might have worked for you, might not have done, but it's the same analogy this week. So with that right leg heavy into the ground, foot heavy into the ground, feel yourself really attached into the ground on that right leg, and the left leg gets lighter. If you need to be near a wall, by the way, or a chair, take yourself there for your balance this evening. Find a drishti point, and with a breath in, we're going to let this light left leg drift away from the ground, and if you can, raise your arms up. You could keep your toes on the ground if this isn't right for you. And with the exhale, we're going to float gently down. So just bring the toes to the ground rather than bringing the whole foot down. We'll do that 2 more times. Just lightly, feel light as a feather, really rooted through that right leg into the ground. And then down. So don't forget to support your back. Going to do that one last time. Keep the shoulders down as you raise the arms. Plant both legs, come to your breath, mind your posture. Lovely. And then your left leg, heavy, connected, rooted down, heavy foot. Right leg, light as a feather, light as a feather. So 3 times we're going to breathe in, raise the arms, maybe just coming onto the toes, or perhaps that foot comes away from the ground. Balance might be different on one side to the other. Find your drishti, not me ever, because I wobble, particularly in the evening. And then exhale, we're coming down. 2 more times. Third time we come down, root that foot down deep into the ground. Lovely. Okay, we're not quite done with this balancing lark yet. So this one I'll show you first of all. It's not rocket science, but I'll just show you. We take the right toes out, and then with same thing with the breath in, this leg is going to just lift off the ground, but keep the foot flexed. And try not to lean into it, so it's not going into a warrior 3. We're doing the works coming from here, from the back, from the glutes and into the leg. Okay, so we'll start actually with us with the right leg rooted into the ground, heavy. So bring your awareness down there, and then the left leg is light, but the left leg is working hard this time. So it becomes light, but then we're going to breathe in, raise the arms, take the left leg behind, keep that upper body upright, and push through the heel of that leg. So the left leg is working really hard. And we're going to hold that then, but keep breathing, don't hold your breath. Try not to go into warrior 3, try to keep that upper body upright. And then with your next exhale, we'll drift the arms down, bring that foot back. Do the same to the other side. So the left leg becomes heavy and rooted. And then when you're ready with an inhale, this right leg's going to, no, whatever it is, yeah, right leg's going to float up behind, push away through the heel. Keep the upper body as upright as you can. Push, push, push through the heel. Lovely. And then with your next exhale, float everything down. Bring the legs together, sandwich them together, draw the tailbone under, navel in, tuck into pelvic floor, clench the buttocks. Lovely. Good. And then we can soften and release. Have a little disco dance. Have a little disco dance. All right. Okay. Let's stand tall. Find your posture. Bring those arms up in front of you to shoulder height, but keep the shoulders down. We're going to take a breath in. With the out breath, bring the right hand down by the side, the palms going behind you. At the end of that out breath, turn the hand. And with the in breath, we're going to take the arm behind us, maybe just a few inches, maybe further, maybe taking the gaze. Exhale, bring the hand down by the side. Use the pause to change the direction of the palm. Inhale, you're bringing that arm back in front. So do that to the other side. Exhale, the left hand comes down. In the pause, we change the direction. The inhale, it comes behind, maybe a couple of inches, maybe you can raise it up. Take the gaze behind if you can. Exhale, we bring it down. Pause, change direction, inhale up. So right hand exhale down, change, inhale behind, exhale down and change, inhale up. Other side, exhale down, change, inhale, exhale down, change and inhale. So one more round then. End of those rounds, whenever that is, float the arms down by the sides. Pause for a moment. Okay. Left hand to right shoulder. Right arm wraps around the lower back. Tailbone in, tummy in. Take a breath in. Soften your knees. Breath out, twist around to the right. And engage that left buttock. Left buttock engages. Use an inhale to come back to centre, release the buttocks, change the hands over, twist to the other side, keep the knees soft, engage the right buttock. And then make our way back to the centre, release the hands. Take the feet a little further apart, take the toes out to the sides, bring the hands to the heart centre. Going to squat unless that isn't right for you this evening. Take a breath in, coming down through a squat. If squat isn't right, come down in a sensible, safe manner for you this evening. Bring that weight into the hips. Pause for a moment if we can, if that's possible, if we can keep our balance. And then we'll gently release the hips down to the ground. And stretch the legs out. Sitting on folded blanket or a cushion or a block if you want to, or onto the ground. Just making sure you're onto your sit bones and you're sitting nice and tall. Okay, so we're just going to stretch the hips out. So we'll take your right foot, slide it in, and can we take the ankle onto that left thigh? And draw the left toes towards you and sit up tall. If not, that foot could be on the ground if that's really not possible for you this evening. I'm just holding that, stretching it out, stretching out the piriformis. Left toes towards you, so we're still getting a stretch into that other leg. Nice tall spine. Happy faces. And then we'll bring that knee up and stretch that leg out. Let's go to the other side. So we'll slide the right foot in, ankle to thigh. That really isn't possible. You could keep the foot on the ground. Let's give you a nicer stretch into the piriformis. Bring the right toes towards you, sit up tall. I can't see everyone's knees, so I'm trusting that you're looking after yourselves. Lovely. And then we'll bring that foot up, stretch the legs out. Let's just have a nice good bend in those legs. We're going to breathe in and open up the chest. Breathe out, just coming forward so we know what we're doing. We're going to go into a forward fold eventually, a stronger one than this, if we want to. Breath in, lifting up, maybe taking the feet further away. Hinging at the top of the thighs as we come forward, keeping the back long and the neck neutral. And then we'll do one more of those. So we're opening up, keep the knees as they are, or take the feet further away if you wish. Exhaling, coming down, this time holding, so the hands can come to the ground or onto the legs, onto the feet, as long as you're not dragging those shoulders forward. Keep the shoulders back. You don't want to create tension there. Keep everything as soft as you can whilst we're still working quite hard. And just be with your breath here for a moment as we stretch out those legs and the lower back. Good. Let's use an inhale to gently pad our way up. And then we'll bend the knees, space between the knees, and then we'll just let the back round now. And we can let the belly be a little bit saggy because it's worked very hard. And just let the chin drop down and come to your breath. Let's take a gentle breath in, come up. We'll just roll those shoulders a couple of times, and then we're going to get our warm things on and get ready for relaxation. But if you need any last minute, easing out, then please listen to your bodies and do what the body's asking of you. So as usual, taking the right choices for you. Would you like to have your legs raised up onto a piece of furniture? Would you like to have a bolster underneath your knees or a pillow? Or have the legs outstretched, feet hip width or mat width apart? Or have the knees bent into semi-supine, perhaps having the knees coming towards each other for support. And specs on or off. Eye covering if you'd like one. Those of you who like a sandbag on the lower abdomen, below the navel, could have a sandbag or a pillow or something. Take your time to make sure you've got all the props that you need, so you're going to be as comfortable and warm as you want to be right now. Have your arms in the best place for them, where they can be released and supported. And take your time just to make your way through your body, releasing forehead, eyes, temples, the scalp, nose, space between back teeth, lips, tongue. Maybe lifting that head slightly, and when you bring it down, lovely long neck, keeping the throat open. Shoulders nestling down, keeping width between those shoulder blades. Releasing the upper arms, releasing the forearms. The hands and fingers and thumbs are open and soft. Spacious into the rib cage, soft into the belly, and releasing the lower back. Lower back's in contact with the ground so it can relax and release. Hips heavy into the ground, releasing those muscles in the thighs, the muscles in the calves. Soft and spacious into the feet and the toes. The whole body supported by the ground. Nothing to do, just resting. Feeling that solid earth as a support underneath the body. And the breath gently moving in and out, tuning into that rhythm. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. The breath, your anchor. So when the mind wanders off, as it's wont to do, we could just gently gather it back and be with the breath. Taking your awareness to your feet, and with your in-breath, taking the in-breath at the front of the body now, up to the crown of the head. And then let the breath, the out-breath, cascade from the crown of the head down the back. The whole back of the body, the back, the hips, the backs, the legs, back down to the feet. Breathing in the front of the body all the way up to the head. Breath out, long breath out, it cascades down the back. And continue with this cyclical rhythm. Each out breath releasing, relaxing, easing out niggles. Breathing in up the front body, breathing out down the back body. When I stepped ashore in this body, I was recognised at once and given a name. My bones were smaller, but the shape of the cheek and the chin are the same. This is the only body I know, this colour, my eyes, this colour, my skin. Every scar is mine. I have become as tall, as slim, as old as I am. My voice has carried the weight of what I had to say. Words were scattered along the way, words on gravel roads, in hallways and staircases, words on a wire. Somewhere in a field, my hair. Somewhere in a lake, my skin. Some rooftop where my gaze rested. Some star, a wish. This is my address on earth, temporary, fragile, a name in a phone book, and at the moment, alive. So if you'd like to or need to keep resting, then please do. Alternatively, we'll just maybe take a couple of deeper breaths to send those signals to the body that this part of our practice has come to a close. Perhaps just introducing a little gentle movement to toes and fingertips. Maybe gently taking the head from one side to the other. Some of you might like to stretch out. Some of you may prefer just to roll over onto one side, or perhaps just stay as you are. And when you feel ready to, gently make your way to an upright position. Perhaps practicing palming when you get there if you wish. Rubbing those hands together briskly, creating warmth. Cupping them over the closed eyes as you're ready. Allowing those eyes to open into that warm, dark, protected space before letting the light gently, gently filter through. And bringing your hands down to the heart space. Om Shanti.